Good evening, everyone. Want to know? Sorry for the very late delay there. I was too busy going to the toilet. Anyways, we are at my favourite track, and the people from the old race driver grid days on the Xbox 360 would call me the king of Spa because this is my track, but we'll get into that story a little bit. Anyway, Francorchamps is the venue for tonight's special event, and I'm your commentator here tonight, Sean, as always, giving you some commentary and going to see some great racing in the process. So we just had one of these done just over last week at Le Mans. It was a very exciting finish, to say the least, in the LMP1 class cars, which is what Coleman is driving right now. He is driving the Toyota, and so we'll talk about what happened in the race from Sunday. It was a very close battle between Lewis and Liam before Lewis binning it at Arnage, which handed the win over to Liam, and also the commentator needed a drink afterwards, and rightfully so, because it was a thoroughly entertaining battle at the finish. And yeah, I felt bad there for the commentator because you could tell he really needed a drink, and I was like, yeah, I need to have a drink too. Which is what I've got right now. Anyways, this is another endurance race, but it's not going to be 1 hour long. It's going to be 90 minutes long. So roughly, we're going to be seeing about possibly about 44, 45 laps in these cars. The rules are the tyre wear is at ×3, the fuel is at ×3, but there is no rules on what tyre compound to run. It says yellow flag going up at Radio. That's Schauler, going off. Just a very late replacement, actually, is a Schauler, because he was supposed to not compete at this, but he's taken over Mark Thompson's spot, as Mark's got other things to do. And also Sean Cool was supposed to be in this, but he's pulled out right at the last second, and he has been replaced by John Riley. There he is in the blue Aston Martin, sliding his way through Pouhon. So what they're going to do is it's going to be a rolling start. They are going to be starting where the chicane is, just after the start-finish line, the chicane. But they will get the cars going after La Source on that straightaway. Got 8 people watching. Don't forget, give this video a thumbs up and a like on this chat, on this race too, please. Be nicely appreciated from all of yous. So they will get the cars going up towards Eau Rouge to Radio. That is where they'll get the cars going. So it's in between the straight between the La Source hairpin and the Eau Rouge. You just see tyre tracks there going off there, Tier 19. Very interesting. So then let's have a look at the drivers that have competed, as we've got 1 minute to go. I think qualifying, I forgot how long is qualifying, but anyway, here are the drivers. So we have got Coleman Corkery, and he is driving the Toyota. Matthew Ellis with that lovely gamer tag in the very colourful, oh well, the qualifiers just started right now, in the very colourful Toyota and all. Then you've got Liam Flynn driving a nice pink Porsche, but he's ghosted. And we'll see the other drivers throughout qualifying. So qualifying will last for 6 minutes now, so an extra minute now. Looking at Ben Milton driving the Audi. Just give us a second there. Now, for those who don't know into endurance racing, it's the GR3 cars and the LMP1 cars will have their own battle. So if a LMP1 car comes up towards a GR3 car, the GR3 cars cannot move out the way, as they are having their own race as well. It's just that the LMP1 drivers have to work their way around the slower GR3 cars. So anyways, here we go again then. That's Coleman Corkery, followed by oh, someone's had a moment there, Radion. That's Scholler yet again, having problems in the Chevrolet. So there was Liam Flynn. Then you have got John Riley, again the replacement. And just ahead is Brian Ross. There he is in the other Chevrolet, running wide through the Les Combe chicane. And we've seen We have seen, there he is, Schauler, still getting all four wheels going. That's good to see. Liam McEwen, the winner of the last race at Le Mans, the endurance race, just over a week ago. And Liam again driving the Toyota. Followed there by Lewis Edwards, who bowled it at Arnage a week ago. And he is driving the Porsche, is Lewis, there you can see. Talked about Ben Milton, there he is there in the Audi, slowing down, letting Matt Ellis go by. Coleman Corkery as well. And the last of the LMP1 drivers is this guy, Jay Hardy, who we have seen competed before in the Super DTM series, but is unfortunately pulled out. He's also driving the Porsche at all, as the and Callum Cripps as well. My apologies, Callum Cripps in the Ginetta-looking Porsche. Ginetta liveried Porsche. So here we go then. Callum goes across the line to start the first of the hot laps. Now let's talk about the GR3 cars, and this is the first of them, Craig Kerr in the 2011 Aston Martin. There are two different makes of Aston Martins. This is the older spec model, which is the more OP car. Then you've got Adam Piper in the Ferrari, sponsored by Sky. Then you've got Jake Hill in the legendary Rothmans Porsche. As I see there, I think that was Schauler trying to pass a few cars there too. So they're going to have a battle against each other here. So they're going to spit up their own personal lap times here. We have seen Liam Flynn in the Porsche. Then we've got John Riley in the Aston. Schauler, Brian Ross, and the last of them, Jordan Hogan, who was also a replacement today. He's driving the Chevrolet as well. So a couple of Chevrolets, a couple of Aston Martins, and Porsche, and a couple of Porsches. It says here Jordan here was supposed to be driving the Porsche, but there he is in a Chevy. That was what the lists gave me from Liam. He was supposed to be driving a Chevrolet. Anyway, it's no matters. Looking here at Cripps as he's just going towards the Fania chicane. Then there's Liam McEwen in second. So we will have 7 cars in LMP1 and 8 cars in the GR3. Just going through Stavolo 2 now is Callum Cripps. Let's actually ride on board with him. Going through Blanchimont. Hitting 7th gear maybe. Yep, there we go. Harry Flat is through here. Bruce Blanchimont. Absolutely there. Look at that. And then brake extremely hard for the chicane. Don't think you can call it a bus stop chicane now. Nice and lovely there for Cripps. And he will come across the line in a 1 minute 58 exactly dead. Liam only went 2 attempts slower than that. Edwards goes to 1:59.4. Corcoran goes to 58.7. G goes to 58.2. Nice lap time for G. So that puts him in third. Ellis goes 6th overall. 2 minutes 7.691. And then Ben Milton goes to 58.2. So quite close then, actually. We have seen drivers go into the 57s. I think it was like a 57.2. I think it was the first one there. Don't forget, if you're watching this race, you know, give yourself a chat in the comments in the top chat. We'll leave them all. Looks like we've got Ben in here, so we're trying to support the underdog Audi. And you've got Jordan in there too. Sean Cool says couldn't gotta make it. And Rusty GT says hi all. Hope you're doing alright there. Hope you got yourself a grab of popcorn. And here we go then, there's the GR3 drivers going by. So Jake Hill goes quickest in that category, 2:17.065. Craig Kerr goes 2:37.455. So he must have spun it as well. So currently leading the way is Jake Hill in the GR3. Then it is Adam Piper, nearly 1.5 seconds away as he shortcuts Radio. So that's going to be a hefty penalty for him. Well, it should be at least. I tell you what, if Adam Piper's going to be so brave driving that car, that's not one of the best cars to race for, I'll have to admit anyways. Liam Flynn, 3rd in the Porsche, that's quite surprising, considering there's a whole host of Chevrolets that are quite faster than the Porsche. Schauler in 4th overall, then 5th is Jordan Hogan, as I think we just saw Ross having a moment, yes he did, off of Malmedy. So Ross's qualifying is done, and Craig Kerr There we go. Liam McEwen just misses out though by a tenth. And Lewis Edwards now goes to the pole. 57.9. Corkman is about half a second slower than that, but it will put him in 5th place overall. Matthew Ellis goes up to 7th, and he's last in the category. Ben goes a 58.1. That will just put him just closer to McEwen. Only just less than a tenth away. So you've got the top 4, actually top 5, separated by less than half a second. That's quite close, actually. And G didn't improve at all, 2 minute 10.259. So that we've sorted the LMP1 cars out. I think Jake's probably done. I think he's pretty much sorted out for the pole position. So Jake Hill might start on the pole position, but it's all down to what Adam Piper could do, even though he did shortcut Radion. So here we go. I don't know. This is going to be pretty much accepted. Getting an absolute proper drift off the car. He's not going to improve anyways. Well, he does a little bit, but only by about 3 tenths. So 218.180. Liam Flynn doesn't improve. I don't think John Wright doesn't improve, but Jordan Hogan does. 219.199. That will put him in fourth place. And Craig Kerr goes into last position. 2 minute 22.147, and that is qualifying done, as Brian Ross has pulled into the pits. So Lewis Edwards will start on the pole position with a 157.961. Then it's Cripps in 2nd, Liam McEwen 3rd, Ben Milton 4th. Then it's Corkery, Hardy, and then Matt Ellis, the last of the LMP1 cars. Then pole in the GR3 class, Jake Hill just over a second ahead of Adam Piper. Liam Flynn in 3rd, 4th is Schauler, 5th is Jordan Hogan, 6th is John Riley, Brian Ross is 7th, and Craig Kerr rounding out the field. So don't forget, this is a rolling start, and the cars will get going after the last source hairpin, in which then the overall leader, Lewis Edwards, can dictate the pace. As they say, qualifier has ended. There you can see it again for yourself. Very close qualifying in the top 5. This should be quite an exciting race. Here we go then. The race itself, 90 minutes of Spa, brought to you by the SBR. Oh, that actually rhymed. Give me a poet. Anyway, I've told you the starting grid. It is Porsche, Toyota, sorry. No, Porsche, sorry, my apologies. Porsche 1 and 2, and you got a whole host of Toyotas there. So here we go. This is not the start of the race, just to let you know, not the start of the race. And there you go. That's good. That's good to see. Although that would have been such a lovely camera angle for the start of the race, I'm not going to lie. So here we go then. So Edwards can dictate the pace, and then we'll get the cars going. Oh, underway. Now they'll probably get going just where that little bridge is. And Jake Hill will lead the way as well in the GR3, but we are getting ready for the start of the 90-minute race, which there should be a time remaining thing. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it is a 44-minute race. And now we should be going. And indeed we are. We are underway and racing for the start of the 90-minute race. And Cripps already to the point. Side by side through Radion goes the LMP1 cars. Ben Milton's already up to 3rd place. But they're still side by side towards the Kemmel straightaway we go. For the first time, it's Cripps versus Edwards. Porsche versus Porsche. Cripps trying to lean on Edwards. But look at Milton. Milton with a good run around the outside. Gets a little bit of touched. But he holds on to that second place now. And is someone gone off? I'm not too sure. Yes, someone has gone off, and it's Matthew Ellis. Ellis has gone off through Malmedy and at the Lake Coombe chicane. So let's see what happened here to this colourful looking Toyota. So they're all going into Lake Coombe. About 6 cars into one don't go. He's trying to go around the outside of J Hardy. Gets the power on a bit too early, and then into the tyre wall he goes. And looks like there's no damage on these cars and all. So not a good start then for Matthew Ellis, but there's plenty of time left. There is 44 laps in this. I thought it was just a 90-minute shootout, but it's put on to 44 laps. Oh well. Meanwhile, Jake Hill leading the GR3 cars, and then you've got a battle for second place between Schauler and Adam Piper, going in towards the Fania chicane now, and Schauler goes up into second place overall, and Piper down to third. Jordan Hogan now in the Chevrolet is now fourth overall. Then you've got Liam Flynn down in fifth position. Then Brian Ross, John Riley and Craig Kerr. So no incidents so far in the GR3 cars. Looking all good here so far, as Edwards now back into second place as Ben has been dumped to fourth. So here we go. And where's he off to? That's a different line there that Ben Milton was going for. Anyway, lap 2 out of 44 then, and it is crisp from Edwards, from Liam McEwen, for Ben Milton, who runs wide at La Source. Corkley trying to have a look on the inside, but Ben will have the speed off the corner. Pit stop wise, we're probably going for about at least 11 laps on these tyres. I'm guessing overdrivers will be going on softs, as Corkley makes a lovely pass on Milton and go up into fourth place. Jay Hardy runs a little wide at Eau Rouge. And then there's Matt Ellis there at the back of the field in that colourful looking car. He is now last place of the LMP1 cars, but he's just starting to catch up on the back of Jay Hardy. Still leading the GR3 class is Jake Hill, almost just over a 3-second lead over Rob Schauler, and he's got a whole gang of cars right behind him. Piper, Flynn, then you got Adams, and then you got Hogan, who's down now into 13th overall, and then you got the two Athens, John Riley and Craig Kerr at the back of the field. Craig Kerr, who you've seen before in the Touring Car Classics. So everything all good here so far. Meanwhile, battle going on now for second place in this 44 lap race, and it is the battle that had the other commentator going on the edge of his seat at Le Mans. It is Edwards versus McEwen. They're reuniting their battle again from just over a week ago. Closely followed then by Corkery there, and then Ben Moulton now into Carpo Freire. There you go. Jay Hardy running a little wide off the exit of Stavelo 2. And now into Blanchimont, absolutely flat out through here. There you are. And I tell you what, Ben's got a good run here. Ben's going to have a go around the outside of Corkery at the chicane. And he's not going to get that position just yet. As we are on to lap 3 out of 44. 41 laps to go in this endurance race. Well, I wouldn't say endurance race, it's more of a race, because there's no time remaining on the clock, so there you go. It's a 44 lap race, not an endurance one. Oh, big distance now, big distance in between Liam Flynn and John Riley's gone up into 12th place. Something's must have happened here. Yeah, Jordan Hogan is down to 7th overall. Oh, and so too did Brian Ross. I wonder if them two had touched before. They must have done, because they're falling way out of the battle with Flynn and that. So then here we go. Liam Flynn in the pink Porsche versus John Riley in the blue Aston. Now, I would expect to see the leaders going by the first of the GR3 cars in roughly about lap 6, maybe lap 7, I would say. 44 laps here is about 90 minutes. Well, yeah, it is roughly, but I thought there would have been a time remaining saying 1 hour and 30 minutes, because I have seen it before. I have done some 90 minutes races. I thought they would have put the time remaining on there, but apparently not. But there you are. Let's have a look at the battle then again for the in fact, yeah, Edwards is still in that second place, but I tell you what, Corkley's caught up a bit now to McEwen. I wonder if McEwen had a little mistake, because he's over 1.5 seconds behind Edwards now. So Liam must have made a mistake somewhere, or has Edwards actually found the groove and he's catching up to Crispy a lot now. So then here we go. Lap 4 out of 44 now. Fastest lap given to Edwards, 158.113. He's putting the magnets now on Callum Cripps, the leader. Lewis Edwards, the pole sitter. He wants that lead back. Oh, in fact, Crispy has had what is he doing? What is Crispy doing there? That was a massive lag. Goodness me, what happened there with Crispy? That must have been huge lag there. It must have been. Fourth place overall in class still going on between Liam Flynn and John Riley. Both these drivers are also in the Touring Car Classic, although I think Liam Flynn's gone up to McGann's, I believe, if I can remember correctly. Going through Blanchimont, and they're flat out through there too, but John Riley's going to get a good run here. And now Liam is going to have to start defending on John Riley, is he? John having a look, late look. Liam does give him the room, but Liam will hold on to fourth place overall. Again, you can just see there John Riley all over the back of the Porsche. He wants to try and find a way by. He's going to the inside at La Source this time, and they're still going to be side by side. Liam may have the speed off the corner. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. So now John Riley moves up into fourth place overall in the GR3, 11th in the race itself. And now can Liam Flynn try and find a way by? Now back up front, Crispy's advantage now up to 1.3 seconds now. But Edwards seems to catch him under brakes. And I tell you what, McEwen has caught up now. McEwen has caught up on the back of Edwards' Porsche. Well, we did have a little moment on the exit of the chicane, so he's going to lost a little bit of time and a little bit of momentum as well. Coleman Corkley still holding on to that fourth place, but he's getting closer. Ben Milton still in fifth. Jay Hardy in touching distance in sixth. And Matt Ellis, who is slowly gaining on Jay Hardy. Now the gap down to 4 seconds. As the last place driver's just gone by the corner of no name. That's turn 11. And leaders are just going towards the Les Combes chicane. That will be turn 6. So, yeah, I'd say give it another lap and you'll get Crispy and Edwards catching up with the back of Brian Ross and Jordan Oliver, who are having their own battle, as well as Craig Kerr in sixth place in class, I should say. And he goes a little wide there through the exit of the Fania chicane, now into Stavelot. Honestly, you should see the size comparison with Craig Kerr's car to the likes of Jordan Oliver. That thing is an absolute monster. Look at the size of the thing compared to the Chevrolet. Look at that. It's absolutely huge. Looking at the leader, Jake Hill. Good to see Jake Hill back out on track again. He's got time. He's got some free time on his own. Not doing the touring car this season. He's also not doing. He stopped doing the Super DTM because obviously the British Touring Car Championship is coming back in about five weeks' time, I believe it is. So Jake wants to get as much testing and practicing in the car for the season. But he still leads in the GR3 class. Don't forget, he actually competed in the Porsche Carrera Cup Series. I think it was back in 2010, I want to say. No, he'd have been young back then. It would have been about 2015, 2016 maybe. So he knows how to drive this Porsche, and you can see the gap up to 5.3 seconds, as I think the leaders are just going towards Radion, and the last place guy is just going towards the Les Combes chicane. So we're going to be seeing some lap traffic coming very soon. And now Corkley's gone up into third position. McEwen is down to fifth, so McEwen's had a mistake somewhere. I didn't put the commentator's curse on him because we didn't see what happened to him. So Milden up to fourth. Now we're going to see, this is going to be interesting to see, because now Crispy and Edwards are very close together. The two Porsches then battling for the race lead, and they've got traffic coming their way. The last of the cars going towards Pouhon, the double left-hand corner. And they're coming towards Pouhon. Edwards there getting all wrong on the exit of the corner of no name. Let's actually ride on board then with the leader at the moment, Crispy, who has been leading right from the start. And there you can see, there's Brian Ross. And Craig Kerr's gone in the gravel at Stavelot 1. which Crispy goes by easily. And Edwards has as well. And then through goes Corkery, and then you got Milden, and then McEwen. So there we go. And now we're coming towards Blanchimont. This is not one of the places where you want to pass a GR3 car, especially in the fast corner, but he did it quite fine. Edwards goes around the outside of Ross, so that's fine. Yellow flag as John Riley's been stopped. John Riley in 13th place. Let's see what happened to John. So he's just going through Blanchimont. Hits on the gravel trap. Liam Flynn is still at the back of him. And let's see, does he hit the curb? Oh, he's outbraked himself. Oh, and he just ghosted and just restarted there. So he's lost 2 places there as Liam Flynn and Jordan Hogan has just gone by. So he's down in... He's still moving out of the way, which he doesn't need to do that. He shouldn't be doing that because, don't forget, he's in a race himself. He's only 2.5 seconds away from Jordan Oliver. I think there's a battle for the lead, actually. Yes, indeed it is. So Crispy now and Lewis Edwards battling for the lead on lap 7 out of 44. Now it's a Malmedy. Oh, Edwards gets a great run, no, but then hits the AstroTurf. Don't want to be hitting too much of the AstroTurf. Now into Rivage, the downhill braking. And they're catching up on Schauler, who's 3rd position in the GR3 class. They're going to get him past Pouon, which is thankful. Oh, Edwards there struggling there through Pouon. He was fighting the understeer and he's going to lose a bit of time there. Again, Schauler moves out of the way, which, like I says, the GR3 guys do not need to do this. They don't need to move out the way. They've got their own battle. And Edwards was the big loser in that there because he had to force his way by Schauler, which is, again, perfectly entitled to what Schauler does. And in fact, he spins it on the exit there of it. Yeah, he just had it all wrong going into Fanya 1. Just heavily understeered, didn't he? And then into Fanya, chicane number 2, gets the power back on, hits the gravel, puts the power on, and then nearly does a tank slapper, and the car's super glued into the tyre wall. So he's going to lose a lot of ground. There goes Jay Hardy. In fact, Jay Hardy's in 5th. Now, he was in 6th the last time we see him. What has happened now? Oh, McEwen's down in 7th. Oh, again, no commentating curse for McEwen. He's all the way down to 7th place. The Le Mans winner from a week ago. Having a nightmare at the moment, already 15 seconds back as Matthew Ellis is up to 6th, just passing the recovery Schauler. Now then, meanwhile, there's the leader, Jake Hill, and it's going to be a full lap down to the leader, Crispy, who's just going to pass him around the outside, and there he goes. So that's the first play, the winningest driver, well, the first place driver in the GR3 class now gone a full lap down. Oh, Craig has left already. Craig Kerr left the room already. So we are down to 14 drivers, 7 left in the GR3 class. Again, not what you wanted to see, but, you know, we have seen Craig Kerr do that a lot, just leaves the session. We did see a lot of that in the Touring Car Classics, so, you know, not going well then for Craig Kerr. That Aston Martin, that hugely OP Aston Martin, he just couldn't get the grips with. Anyways, Edwards now to Crispy is now less than 3/10 of a second now. As we're on lap 8 out of 44. 7 people watching, 7 likes, that's perfect. Hoping to see a little bit more than what we had in the SBR shootout and the V8 supercars that we had last night. For those who are watching this, go check out the supercar race, as it was quite thrilling last night with the other commentator, which was, I think it was Liam New, I think it was. So, you know, don't forget, give that race a thumbs up as well. But anyways, back up front with the lead, and Edwards trying to find a way by Callum Cripps as they go into the chicane for the 8th time. And we'll start lap number 9. Edwards a little sideways too. Coleman Corkery now into a safe 3rd position. Ben Milton a distant 4th place. Jay Hardy 5th. Then you got Matt Ellis in 6th position, and then Liam McEwen trying to get away by the leader of the GR3 class. That is Jake Hill, and he's starting to catch up now on Matt Ellis. Here we go in towards the Kemmel Straight, and where will be the pass here? He's going to be tucked up in the slipstream here, and again Crispy weaving left and right. That's fine. He's trying to break a toe. Now then into Malmedy, and then this corner right here, Rivage, is pretty tricky because, like I said, it's downhill braking, so it's not an easy corner there. Edwards getting it sideways through there. Now into turn 11. And you can see the gap now starting to pull away now, over half a second now. Crispy had a good exit at turn 11, now into Pouon. You can just see how calm, smooth, relaxed Callum Cripps driving is compared to Edwards. Edwards looks a bit edgy. Have a look at the fuel wear. Actually, I think Edwards has got it's just got a tiny bit less than Callum Cripps. If I was Edwards here, I should be saving fuel here. I should be save fuel, stay right behind Crispy. It's plenty on in the race to go. Save your fuel when it comes into the pit lane, or when it comes to the pits, which will probably be maybe about 2, 3, maybe 4 laps time. You're going to have a lot more fuel saved than what Crispy will have, and you'll come out ahead of Callum. It's a no-brainer for me, simply. Just save your fuel, and you'll come out ahead of Cripps no matter what. Here we go. Back up front, and again, McEwen starting to catch up on Ellis now. 1:59.8 was Ellis's last lap time to 1:59.4. So he is quicker as McEwen. So we're going to see maybe a position change sometime soon. Let's ride on board then with the Le Mans winner going through Eau Rouge, now into Radion, and then into Kemmel. You can see the front end of those tyres there are a little bit worse for wear, to say the least. Not really catching up to the back of Matt Ellis's car. Ellis going defensive then, it was seemed. He's trying to park his car in the middle, going into Rivage. Jay Hardy just ahead. Oh, Ellis gets it all wrong. Oh, he's just clipped the tyre wall, and there goes the mistake. So McEwen forced a mistake from Ellis, and McEwen up to 6th place, so his recovery begins now. Still the gap though, 15 seconds to him and Callum Cripps, and we did see that a couple of laps ago. So now McEwen has got his sights set on Jay Hardy's car in 5th position. Again, the leader in the GR3 class is Jake Hill, still. And nearly a 13-second lead over Adam Piper, who is 8 seconds ahead of Schauler, who had that mistake at the exit of the Fania chicane. But he still holds on to that 3rd place. Then in 4th place is Liam Flynn. John Riley in 5th. 6th is Brian Ross, and Jordan Hogan all the way down in 7th place in the class, although he has made a pit stop. Still back up front, and the gap is still less than half a second, and Ellis heads into the pit lane. We're on lap 11 out of 44, so yeah, pit stops will be made like once every 11 laps or so on these soft tyres. And I tell you what, Edwards is looking very close now. Let's ride on board again with Edwards. Tucks up into the slipstream, but he's not going to try and find a way by. I'm wondering if what my tactic has said he's actually doing, but at the moment he's not really saving fuel. He's missing a trick here, is Edwards. I know he's close to the back of Crispy's Porsche, but save fuel. Save your fuel. If you make your pit stop, if you come in at the same time, save your fuel. You'll come out ahead of Crispy no matter what. It just seems to me that Cripps there, that part of the track, he's more quicker than Edwards. Edwards looks a little bit uncomfortable through where, like Rivage to the corner of no name, but then he closes up towards like the Blanchimont, the chicane, La Source, Kemmel. Yeah, Edwards not feeling too confident around Rivage and the court at turn 11. Corkery too. Don't forget about him. 1.5 seconds back of Edwards. Having a great race so far is Lewis Coleman. And Ben Milton too in the Audi. The only Audi in the race. And he's holding on. He's keeping the top 3 honest. 11 laps, and the top 4 are just within 4 seconds of each other. Quite close, that actually. Krista St. Callum for the win. How's the diapers then? How's the nappies? How many diapers have you... I'm speaking American. What am I saying here? Anyways, I think they're catching up on Jordan Hogan, I believe that is. Oh, Brian Ross is in the pits as well as Liam Flynn and John Riley. Yep, so Cripps has gone by Hogan fine. Oh, I tell you what, Ben Milton's had a good run. He's close enough to the back of Corkery's Toyota. Let's see. And they're going to catch up to Hogan, which is going to really help, which is really going to hurt Corkery. And watch out for Milton, the speed of the Audi, and he's just going to go by. And yeah, the momentum from Corkery lost from Hogan, trying to pass him at the Radion, has put Milton up into 3rd place. Yeah, you can see there Corkery got a little bit held up on Hogan. And then Ben was like, thank you, I'll take that 3rd spot away from you. Just passing more cars there, it would seem. That's Brian Ross just coming out ahead. Now there's John Riley just ahead, which Ben moves out of the way, which again, Riley is entitled to his racing line. This is when it gets a bit old dicey when you're battling against lapped cars there. Just ahead is Liam Flynn. Edwards passes him cleanly. So Ben having a good solid race in that Audi. Trying to get by Liam Flynn at Stavolo 1, not going to happen. And now it's going to allow Corkery to get that run back on Ben Milton. We're back on board with Corkery. Don't forget the top 6 have not yet pitted, I don't think. Only real close battle here is possibly for this battle for 3rd place. And again, gets loose on the brakes. Very late on the brakes there was Corkery, and they held it all together. Right then, so let's have a little bit of a rundown then. So Callum Crisp still in the lead of the race, but the gap is up to a 2nd. And they are pulling away now from Ben Milton, who got a little bit lost the momentum there in that 3rd place with the lapped cars, the lapped GR3 cars, I should say. And again, Corkery all over the back of them as they're going towards the Kemmel Straight again in 4th position. Then you've got Jay Hardy in 5th. Closely catching up to Liam Flynn in his Porsche. 6th place is Jay Hardy. So the top 6 in LMP1 have not made a pit stop, whereas Matthew has, and he's down there in 7th place, only 40 seconds back. But don't forget, he's made a pit stop, whereas the top 6 hasn't. Adam Piper is in 8th place. He's now leading the category, and I'm probably presuming Jake Hill has made a pit stop. And indeed he has. You can see his fresher tyres still. So Jake down to 2nd place, but he has made that pit stop. He's got a 34-second lead over Liam Flynn in that Porsche, and he's also made a pit stop as well. So I think it's just really Adam Piper in that Ferrari that is not yet pitted in the GR3 class. John Riley, there he is in 4th place in class. Then it is Brian Ross, 5th place in class. Rob Schauler's down to 6th in class. And then in last place then is Jordan Hogan in 14th overall, and also running 7th in the class, and gets it all wrong through on the exit of the Fania chicane. So far a bit of a tough time here for Jordan Hogan. It says blue flag, so the lap car is going to be by. That might be Matthew Ellis, and he goes extremely wide through Stavolo 2. That must be Matthew Ellis there that he's going to get lose a position, not a loose position, getting lapped by, and indeed it is. Now G Hardy comes into the pits. G Hardy, the second of the LMP1 cars, into the pits. Crispy's advantage now up to nearly 1.7 seconds as he's passing. In fact, there might have been a lead change actually with Piper. Yeah, Piper and G Kill, because it was about 5 seconds. So I think Piper must have made a mistake and allowed G Kill to go into the lead of the GR3 race now. So there you go, G Kill back into the lead of the race. Piper down to second. But he'll be holding on to a safe second place, but he's going to be a long way behind the leader. Bit of contact, but again, Adam Piper's entitled to do that. He's got his own battle as well, so, you know, that's not Adam Piper's fault. Ben's actually distanced himself away from Corkery, but Corkery will slowly catch up to Ben because he may have got held up a little bit from G Kill's Porsche. Gap between Milton to Edwards is now 3.1 seconds, as it was to about nearly 1.5 seconds from a couple of laps ago. So they should be pitting sometime soon actually, looking at their fuel gauges. So now McEwen up into 5th position. And it looks like to me that Matt Ellis has gone ahead of Jay Hardney, and he has. But Jay will have the fresher tyres over Matt Ellis. Matt pitted on lap 11, I think he did. I think it was like lap 11. And now we see the first of them coming in now. So here we go. Edwards coming in. He's trying to do the undercut on Crispy. And you can see the tyre, and look at the fuel save there from Corkery. 10% more than what Ben and Edwards says. So don't count out Corkery when they come out. He may be close to the back of Milton's Audi here. They'll fuel it all the way to the top. Liam McEwen's also in. He saved a bit more fuel than Ben and Lewis. This has got to be a qualifying lap here. So I think what Callum is trying to do is he's trying to go for the 2-stop here. He's trying to go for a 2-stop strategy. Pit on lap 15, then pit on lap 30, and then as you can see, because it's a 44 lap race, you don't need to pit again. So here we go. Let's see how close is Corkery, and indeed he is now. He's very close to the back of him. Back on board with Corkery. Gonna have a battle for third position on our hands here yet again. Battle going on then for 6th as well. Jay Hardy versus Liam McEwen. McEwen just coming out of the pit lane, but he's got a lap fresher tyres than Jay Hardy. So we are 1/3 distance into the race. And still on board with the lead, still back with Callum Cripps, who has to make that pit stop now. Edwards just trying to go for the undercut. Wonder if that will work. Cripps will probably have to respond to that. Sean says, I want to race. Well, you should. Well, there you go. I mean, you should have. You should have. So we should be seeing Callum going into the pits right about now. He'll turn the full. Yep, and indeed he will. So this is just. This will be the reaction to the Edwards pit stop because they were quite close together. 1/3 distance complete. In comes Crispy. Where is Edwards? He's going to. Oh, he's going to get by GQ with the worst part there at Blanchimont. And like I keep saying that, GQ's entitled to do that. He's got a battle with himself as well. And now, oh, look, and he's absolutely shortcut, and now he had to go sit there. So Edwards has now been dumped to second place. He could have had the race lead away from Callum Cripps, but then he was ghosted back to where he was. You can't shortcut. You cannot short that cut. You cannot shortcut that chicane. And now he's down to 4th place as a result. So Ben Milton goes into 2nd place, Corkery up to 3rd, and now Edwards down to 4th position. And look at the gap there, 2.9 seconds. Don't forget when Edwards pitted, as Jordan Hogan has now left the room, so we're down to six players now left in the GR3 category. The gap between Ben to Lewis before they made their pit stop was about 3 seconds. If Edwards didn't do that mistake at the chicane, he would have been very close to the back of Crispy's Porsche, I have to say. Literally, he would have been very, very close. But it's now an uphill task now for Edwards if he can catch up to Corkery, because Corkery's having is driving a superb race at the moment. And in fact, Edwards is losing a bit of ground here because Matt Ellis has actually found something as Jay Hardy runs wide through Rivage. So he's sort of struggling in his Porsche too. Look at the gap there. Jake Hill absolutely dominating the GR3 cars. 34 seconds he has over Adam Piper, who must have made a pit stop. And again, just gone by. There goes Matt Ellis. He goes by Jake cleanly, and so too does McEwen. Yeah, Adam pitted on lap 12. You can see the lap time 2 minute 54, so he did pit on lap 12. Adam flashing the lights there. I don't know if he knows that he was on camera. Then you got Liam Flynn, just about 6 seconds back of Adam, and also 6 seconds ahead of John Riley in 4th place overall. Someone went wide, and that's Schauler. In fact, both of them are having a battle here for 4th place overall in the GR3 class, and Schauler goes by. I don't know if that was a little bit controversial here. Let's see, they were side by side going into Pool. Not really a good thing to do. No contact though. Oh, and then he just uses all of the track, hits the AstroTurf, which doesn't spin the car. And then into 11th place overall goes Schauler. So yeah, good move there from Rob. You can just see close enough in there. In the background there was Brian Ross in the background in his Chevrolet 2. Running in 6th place. Now there are only 6 cars left in the GR3, as Craig Kerr retired a few laps ago, and we just saw Jordan Hogan just leave as well. Let's have a look then at this battle for 2nd place. And the gap between Ben to Crispy is up to 5.3 seconds. So Ben not able to keep up with Callum. But it is effectively like a 3-car scrap for 2nd place between Ben, Corkery and Edwards. And Liam McEwen is now gone up into 5th position. So he's just passed Matthew Ellis. Hope you don't mind with me having a drink there. I do apologise. I'm a bit thirsty. Into Blanchimont goes Liam McEwen, the Le Mans race winner from just over a week ago, sitting 5th in the race currently. He's just got about 9.5 seconds to catch up with Lewis Edwards, as Ellis looks very late on the brakes going into the bus stop chicane. Didn't really lose a bit of time there, did Matthew Ellis there. He's sort of still there on McEwen's Toyota. Oh, Ellis a little sideways off of La Source. And Jay Hardy's still there in the background in 7th place. It's a nice livery, that. I think that looks like more of the United Autosports machine, isn't it? It certainly looks it, doesn't it? Sean saying, right, what's the bets for the race winner for the LMPs? Oof. Go to your local Ladbrokes or something, you'll probably find out anyways. Jay's starting to find something here. He set his best lap on that last lap by 1:58.801. He's 2 tenths quicker as well through the first sector here. So Jay starting to find a groove in that Porsche. Oh, they're closed. Oh well. Online betting is alright. Ben Stander looks like he's pulling away from Corkery, it seems. The gap now up to nearly 1.5 seconds. And I tell you what, there now, Ben, Edwards is within striking distance of Corkery's Toyota. Oh wow, and he's hit the tyre wall, and that was a huge moment from Edwards, getting Stavolo 2 completely wrong. Let's ride on board with him. So he took Stavolo 1 quite fine. Did he try to take this flat out? He did. He tried to take it flat out and didn't do it at all well. I'm putting more like the commentator's curse on Lewis Edwards. He was saying in the chat, in the Facebook chat, you know, do more commentator's curse on Liam and don't do it to me. Well, I think I'm doing more commentator's curse to Lewis than I am to Liam. So, so now, yeah, the gap up to over 2 seconds now from Corkery to Edwards. He just needs to settle down a little bit here. I think he's racing a little bit ragged as Lewis. He just needs to settle down here. Let's have a look at then at the battle going on, and Shaula's starting to pull away a little bit from John Riley in that Aston. Going through turn 11, the corner with no name, and then into... Oh, I'll tell you what, they're catching up to Liam Flynn if they are. Yeah, they are. They're catching to Liam Flynn, who is sitting third in the GR3 category. So give it a take about another 2, maybe 3 laps. We could see a 3-car scrap for third overall between Flynn, Shaula and John Riley. Meanwhile, the lead now to Crispy to Ben. It's now less than down to 4.5 seconds. So Ben starting to catch up to Callum. Just trying to look at their fuel gauges at the moment. And I think to me, do you know, I think to me, Callum might be saving fuel and Ben isn't. He's trying to catch up to him. You can definitely tell a difference between the fuel gauges. Look up between there to the right of where it says the RS. Look at the fuel gauge there. So Callum's roughly about 75%. And Ben is about maybe say 67% left of fuel. So Callum, even though the gap is coming down, Callum's saving fuel. Oh, hello there, Liam. How you doing? I'm going to take a different scenic route there. Oh, look at the background there. Jay Hardy, now close enough to the back of Matt Ellis. This is a battle for 6th place. The very colourful looking Matthew Ellis car versus the United Autosports car of Jay Hardy. I'll tell you what that car reminds me of, Matt Ellis. Does anyone remember the game for the Wii called Splatoon? Kind of reminds me of that. Don't know why, but it just does. Anyway, will there be a pass going in towards turn 6 at Lake Com? You can see Ellis already going right over to the right-hand side. Now goes to the left-hand side of the track, trying to break the toe away from Hardy. He's actually set purple time, actually. Fastest of all. Through the first sector was Matt Ellis. Liam McEwen has already pulled away to like a 3.5 second lead over this battle for 6th place. So Liam's trying to get to the close up to the back of Lewis Edwards' Porsche, as we've got a Porsche versus Toyota battling for 6th in the class. Well, it's getting a little sideways, just going in towards Pouon. Right on the rev limiter too. He'll have to pit sometime soon because he was the first guy to pit. He pitted in on lap 11. He was the first driver to pit. So I'd say roughly, give or take, I mean, those tyres started, especially the front tyres are looking to fall off the cliff here. He may pit within 2 laps here. But Jay Hardy is all over the back of that Toyota. He's actually right on board with that United Sports Autosports Porsche with Jay Hardy going through Blanchimont. We're nearly at half distance here because he's just ahead there, Liam McEwen. Then you've got 12th place. That's Shaula. So I think Shaula's made a mistake, which allowed. Oh no, that's not. Oh no, that's John Riley. My apologies. That is John Riley. I thought that was Shaula. My apologies. Oh, Edwards a little sideways through La Sauce. Gonna have the inside. But Ellis will just have the run. Let's contact. Ellis trying to block Hardy off of La Sauce and now into Eau Rouge and Radion. We could see a pass be made. This could be a Schumacher's onto Hakkinen moment here. Here we go then. Liam Flynn's down in 12th place. So Liam made a pit stop actually? Or did he go off? Let's have a look. 2 minute 26, so I think he might have went off. So Liam Flynn must have made a mistake. So that means Showler's gone into 3rd place, John Riley's 4th, and now Flynn down into 5th. Whoa, sideways was Hardy through Rivage. Now they're catching up on Showler at one of the worst parts of the track. It's Pouon. It's a very fast corner. Oh, goodness me, that was so tight. They got away with it there. I bet you Showler needed a new pair of boxes. Just seen 2 fast cars there. As the leader in the GR3, Jake Hill pulls into the pits to make his 2nd pit stop. So it's going to be definitely a 3-stop strategy for Jake. Although we did have a mammoth lead over Adam Piper's Ferrari. Tell you what, this is a good scrap here for 6th place. And again, look at the run that Hardy gets off the exit of Savalo too. He's going to get closer into Paul Freda. Now towards the Blanchimont. Flat out through there. They might be side by side. The job could be done. Going in towards the bus stop chicane. Will Matt defend that 6th place? He'll have to now because Jay is all over the back of him and he will go defensive. He may have done a little bit of early braking through there. Jay runs a little wide. Don't want to be ghosted through there. Still side by side. There's a little touch and Ellis holds on to that 6th place. Great battling. Great racing between these two. Oh, and this time Hardy has a look to the inside of La Sauce and Ellis says, no, you don't. I'm wondering if Ellis can go a couple of laps more on those tyres. Because he did pit on lap 11. They're just starting to close up to Adam Piper's Ferrari. There he is. Oh my God, look at the run. He's getting there. Oh, was that a little touch? It must have been because Ellis is running a little wide. I wonder if Jay's getting a little bit impatient now. He knows he's quicker than Ellis just ahead. Oh, I don't know if Hardy pushed Adam Piper out of the way, but he is all over the back and gets it sideways again through the exit of Rivage. Oh my goodness me, he is really impatient. He wants to get by Ellis as soon as he can now. I think there's a battle as well for 4th place between Edwards to McEwen. We'll have a look in a bit, but this is an insane racing going on between Jay and Matt Ellis here. This is great stuff to watch. Oh goodness me, Jay is on the ragged edge and so too is Ellis, and now this could be it. This could be it through Stavilo too. Lovely pass there. Jay Hardy now up into 6th place. Now let's have a look. Oh, in fact, Edwards is down to... Oh, in fact, yeah, Corkery. Corkery must be saving fuel. For sure he is. But let's see what the gap is now. 3.5 seconds now to Cripps over Milden. I don't know how I pushed the replay button. I really don't know why. My apologies. I should be pushing the G button and not the V button. So let's have a look then, comparing to some fuel as we've just passed half distance. So... Callum Cripps still the leader. 3.8 seconds his advantages. Ben Milden, as you can see, he's got less than 50%. So, you know, Crispy's saving fuel. Then Ben. Lewis Edwards has got roughly the same amount of fuel as Ben in 2nd. But he's now sitting in that 3rd position. Corkley's just about 50% left of fuel in his tank. But sits in 4th position. Liam McEwen, he's got roughly about 47% of fuel in his car. And then you got Matt Ellis, and there's still battling going on here. Ellis versus Hardy. And you can see he's got to be pitting sometime very soon because he is on red. So he'll be flashing. He'll be needing to pit sometime soon. Look at this aggressiveness here from Ellis. This is all for 6th place, and Hardy goes through yet again. And Hardy retakes that to 6th place back. And he's definitely got more fuel than Ellis. And that should be the end of that battle. Hardy will be pitting roughly about maybe 3-4 laps or so. Looking at that fuel wear. Don't forget the tyre wears at ×3 as well as the fuel. So he's got about 28% left. Jake Hill, who's made a pit stop, still sitting top. But the gap now down to 13 seconds. But it will grow when Piper will make his pit stop. There he is. He's got about 37% left of fuel. Schauler now third in the class, and he's pulled away. Oh, in fact, I think John Riley may have made a pit stop. There's a look then at Brian Ross now. Up into 4th place. He's closely followed by Liam Flynn. There is Liam Flynn, who must have made a pit stop as well. Yeah, looking at that lap time, he pitted on lap 18 by the looks of it. So Flynn coming out of the pits, sitting 5th in the category. And there is John Riley sitting 6th, but he has also made his 2nd pit stop. And into the... Wow, what was that? What on earth was that? Anyway, first of the LMP drivers to come in, Matt Ellis. He did pit on lap 11. He's got another lap more. Let's have a look then at Liam McEwen in that 5th position, starting to close up to the back of Corkery, but I think Corkery might be saving. What's the gap now? Less than 3 seconds to Crispy to Ben. You can see Ben is Callum has set the fastest lap to 1:57.719 on lap number 17, as we are now into the 2nd half of the race. Yeah, so Callum is down to about maybe 45% of fuel, whereas Ben's got about roughly 30% of fuel. So you know from that, you know that Callum has saved fuel during this run. The gap was about 5 seconds when he came out of the pits to Ben. So yeah, I'm wondering if Callum is trying to save fuel here, and you can see Edwards there in 3rd place. He's slowly catching up to Ben's Audi, but he's got a little less fuel than Ben. But it is still quite close though. 25 laps in, and the top 3 are separated by about 4.5 seconds. That's still quite close. That's still very close racing for a 90-minute endurance race, I can tell you that. Well, let's have a look at the top 3 lap times then. So Ben's last lap was a 58.9, and a 58.9 as well from Ben. So, what's Edwards doing? A 58.5. So you can tell that Edwards is pushing. If only he hadn't made that mistake at that chicane, he would have been either leading the race or very close to the back of Callum's Porsche. But I think now in the top 3, Lewis is the fastest at the moment, but I still think Callum is saving a bit of fuel. And I don't think Ben is too. I don't think Ben's cat is saving fuel. And I know for the fact that Lewis isn't, because he's the fastest out of the top 3. And he runs right through Pouon. That's going to cost him a bit of time. Probably about a second for doing that. And here is a look then at Corkery there. He's having a solid race as Corkery, sliding his way through Stavilo 1. Sitting there in that 4th position in the normal Toyota Denso car. Oh, don't hit that AstroTurf there on Stavilo 2. Just coming up to catch up to John Riley's Aston Martin just ahead. And the gap now between himself to Liam is now less than 3.5 seconds. Still Jake Hill, just minding his own business, having a decent battle lead here, over 17 seconds he has. 7 minutes and 5 seconds behind the leader, say Callum Cripps. So at the moment, Jake is about 4 laps down. Let's actually ride on board then with Lewis Edwards, and you can see the gap now down to 3.4 seconds. Now, as he's just passed Schauler there, 3rd place in the group. Oh wow, look at that. The lap time is, the time's definitely coming down. So Ben's last lap was a 58.8 compared to a 59.9 for Callum Cripps. So I'm definitely wondering that Callum is definitely saving fuel, whereas Ben is not. Or is the tyres a little looking worse further? They've got roughly the same tyre wear as each other. But I just think Ben pitted in earlier than Callum. So I don't think this should be too far a cause for concern. This for Callum. He's just just racing his own race. Yeah, Sean's coming in and saying Lewis is pushing too hard. Yeah, and I think he is. He's definitely pushing too hard. And the gap is going up again now, up to 4.5 seconds. So Lewis is definitely trying, and if he's trying, he's forcing mistakes left, right, and centre. I did say the gap was about 4 seconds to himself to the leader. It's now up to 6.2 seconds. So he has lost within the space of 2 laps, about 2 seconds. But he is still pulling away from Coco, who is saving fuel in 4th. It's now 6 seconds. And you can see Liam catching up now, less than 2 seconds now. So you can definitely tell that Coco is saving fuel to Liam. But they should be pitting within at least 4 more laps or so. I know for a fact that Ellis is going to go for 3 stops. Callum's trying to go for 2 stops. Now, I don't know if Ben can do that as well. I don't know if he can try and save... It's going to be nip and tuck, you know. I think roughly... Oh, well, Jay Hardy comes into the pit lane. I don't think 17 more laps is good enough to go on that fuel. Not necessarily if he needs to save some. But he will need to save a hell of a lot of fuel. He might have to stop again. More importantly, though, where is he going to come out? Ahead or behind of Ellis? Let's actually see where Ellis is at right now. He's at the chicane. So he's going to go on to complete another lap. Gets it completely wrong off the exit. 1:59.252 was Ellis's last lap time. G gets back on the track maybe. Here he comes. Here we go. Them two are reuniting their battle. Here we go again. Oh, G gets it sideways through the Lake chicane. Here comes Ellis to the inside side, and there's contact into the kitty litter. Goes Matthew Ellis. That was a bit of a forceful move, but Ellis runs right through Rivage, and through goes Jay Hardy yet again. Tell you what, them two have put on an entertaining show, I have to say. Adam Piper comes in from 2nd place in GR3. Let's have a look at the lead then. 1.5 seconds. So I'm wondering if Callum is saving fuel so he can go push these next 2 laps, because he's got at least another 3 laps left in that car. And Ben is flashing red. So can Ben push? I think Ben's got... I think, to my knowledge there, Ben can make this race here. He can finish the race on 2 stops. So I think, to my knowledge, I think the top 5 can make it on 2 stops. I'm not too sure on Hardy. I know for the fact that Ellis won't make it on 2 stops. He's going to have to pit again in about 5 laps or so. There's still the leader, Jake Hill. 51 seconds his advantage now. It is over Adam Piper, who's got a 12-second advantage over Rob Schauler in 3rd. Liam Flynn still in 4th. He's got a 2.5-second lead over Brian Ross and John Riley down there. And I spun it through La Source. John Riley spun it at La Source. Let's have a look. Did he get help? Or did he just lose it on his own? Well, he was letting Jay Hardy go by. And then gets La Source completely wrong into the gravel trap. Puts the power on and around she goes. And through goes Matt Ellis. So John Riley struggling in that Aston Martin. Don't forget, he was a very much late replacement. So I don't blame him. He is sort of struggling with this car. So, but big props for him. He still has kept in. He's not gave up. So fair shout to John. He's still fighting. Look at the gap though. 9 minutes and 17 seconds away from the lead is Crispy. Let's see what the gap is now. 1.6 seconds, and Ben has gone in. Ben's into the pit lane. So, by my reckoning, he might need to save a little bit of fuel if he can go the rest of the way. As well as Edwards. And you can see there 3%, 2% respectively for both Ben and Lewis. Again, this could be an undercut here. Oh, just for exactly what Sean has just said there. He's going for the undercut as Ben. I just looked down there to see that. So Ben has got to produce some qualifying lap times. Crispy will have to pit. This will probably make Cripps to make a pit stop next time by, because that will be in a reaction to when Ben, because he knew he was catching up. So he's got 29 seconds. The matter of the fact is, though, that Cripps will probably have more fuel than what Ben had at his pit stop. So that could also play an advantage too. Because we did see Ben had 2% left, and as you can see there, he's just gone into red. So he's probably got about 10% for fuel left. And if he pits in, you know, that could be about maybe 2 seconds gained at least, because he didn't need to put much fuel in compared to what Ben has. So we'll just get to see if Callum will make that pit stop. It will now allow Corkery up into second place. What's the gap between himself to McEwen? 1.2 seconds. And he's going to be pitting this time by, as well as Corkery maybe. But again, Corkery with that fuel saving. So roughly Corkery to Crispy and Crispy have both got about the same amount of fuel. Now let's see if Callum will come into the pit lane. Now don't forget, Ben pitted in. No, he's staying out. Callum is staying out. That's a risk. 1:59.864, that is lap time. Is that a mistake there for Callum? Quite possibly. It might be. It might enable Ben. As you can see there, Liam and Corkery are now into the pits. Yeah, I think Callum should actually pit at that time by, to be honest with you. I think he should have. He might lose the lead of the race actually to Ben now because of that. What's the gap? 27 seconds. So he's gained at least 2 seconds on Callum. And don't forget, the gap was about 1.5 seconds when Ben made that pit stop. So if that stays as it is, and he will gain time on Callum, Ben might take the overall lead here. Let's give you a rundown then of how the drivers look as we're now 2/3 into the race. Callum Cripps still in the lead, but he has to pit. Ben in second has pitted. Lewis Edwards in third, 4.2 seconds off Ben Milton. Then Corkery, who's just fresh coming out of the pit lane, he is in fourth place. Fifth place is Liam McEwen. Jay Hardy still holding on to that sixth place, but he's pulled away from Matt Ellis in seventh. And that's the last place in the LMP1 cars. Comfortable race here for G Kill. 54 seconds he has over Adam Piper in his Ferrari. Rob Schauler is in third place. Liam Flynn up to fourth as Brian Ross makes his pit stop from fifth, as well as John Riley, who's got more fuel in than Brian. And Brian's sitting fifth in the class, and there is John Riley. He's also in. Is that putting fuel in the car as well, or has he just stopped? Can't see really. I don't know if he's actually stopped. I don't know. I'm not too sure. But anyways, he is in. And there you go. There's the leader now. Into the pit comes Crispy. Yeah, I think Riley's done, you know. I think Riley might be done. Or something's happened. Or if he's gone for the toilet for a wee-wee or whatever. But anyways, let's have a look then. This is it overall. Will Crispy come out ahead of Ben? Ben's just coming in towards the chicane now. He's just been passed by, I was just past Jake Hill. Here we go then. Let's see what happens here. Here comes Crispy, he comes out. This is going to be very close, you know. Ben's going to have it, you know. Ben's took the lead, and like I said, Ben is the new race leader, but like I said, Callum should have pitted 1 lap earlier. He would have came out ahead of Ben. Callum pitted 1 lap too late, and it's lost him the lead, which he's been dominating since the very start of the race. Now then, The gap up to 2 seconds, and again, it's like I said, what I said before on lap 30, when Ben caught up to that 2 seconds on Callum, and you can see the gap now up to 2 seconds, and it is growing. So we're going to have ourselves a new leader of this race, and it's the only Audi in the race. And look at Lewis Edwards, he's actually catching up now. Lewis is starting to find a groove, and you can see he set the fastest lap of everybody, 1:57.410. It's go time now for Lewis Edwards. Liam McEwen, oh, and Corkery's gone off. Corkery's just gone off. That's a weird part of the place to lose the car. Let's see what happened. Oh, he just got on the AstroTurf and just spun the car. Oh, disaster. Disaster for Corkery. And that will have Liam up to 4th place now and Corkery down to 5th. And I don't think it was Jake Hill's fault there. He was trying to get by him, but he just clipped the AstroTurf on the exit of the corner of the name, and that's what got him around. So Liam will be thinking Christmas has come too early and he's gone into 4th position, but has he got time to catch up on Liam McEwen? 11 seconds he has over McEwen, and we've got about 13 laps to go as John Riley comes out of the pit lane. Now then, what's the gap now? 1.6 seconds, so Crispy's got the magnets on as Jake Hill will make his 3rd and last pit stop. There he is there, but I mean, like I say, it's a comfortable lead. Over 50 seconds he's got over Adam Piper. Where is Piper on the track? He's just he's just going in towards Stavilo 1. Here we go then. Callum Cripps riding on board now with Crispy, going down towards Rivage. He's got Ben Milton in that Audi just ahead. Cripps, who's been leading the race since lap 1. Oh, this could be not good here for Ben because he's got lap traffic just ahead, and it's at one of the worst parts of the track here at Pouhon. What's Brian Ross going to do? Again, he's entitled to having his own race. That will cost Ben a little bit of momentum here, and the gap is slowly coming down. 1.3 now. Actually pulled a long way away from Edwards, now up to 3.6 seconds he's got over Edwards, so I don't know if Edwards again has made a mistake somewhere. Maybe he was just trying to get by the lap to Brian Ross, maybe, but anyways, we could have ourselves a battle for the lead sometime soon. And we've got about at least 13 laps to go, but the gap between Ben to Callum, 1.7 seconds, and it's coming down now. 1:58.941 for Ben. Callum's lap time 1:58.2, so he's gained at least a couple of temps on. Well, that's nearly, that's 7 temps quicker. 7 temps quicker was Callum faster to Ben. But don't forget, Callum pitted on lap. It was he pitted on lap 31, didn't he? Yeah, lap 31 he pitted, whereas Ben pitted on lap 29 it was. How many laps on a fuel tank of fuel? I think it's roughly about 15 laps, roughly. Yeah, because I was saying earlier there that them lot were going for a 2-stop strategy. They were going to be pitted on lap 15, then 30 headed up, but the only one, I think the 2 drivers that are racing in LMP1 that are maybe going for a free stop is Jade and Matt. All the rest of them, Coco, Liam, Lewis, Callum and Ben have opted to go for a 2-stop strategy. And the gap now, less than half a second now. This will be it actually, Sean, this will be it. This is a battle now, this is going to be an out-and-out battle for the win. They've done all of their pit stops. And Callum is looking racing. He's got at least 4 laps fresher tyres than what Ben has in that Audi. But that Audi does have some seriously good tyre wear. I know that. I'll tell you what, Ben could be a sitting duck here. Let's ride on board then with Callum as he's trying to stalk the back of Milden's Audi going towards Blanchimont for the 33rd time. Into second gear now, into the bus stop chicane or chicane. It's not really a bus stop chicane now, isn't it? Up to 5 seconds now between Callum to Lewis. Oh, look at the closing speed. Look at the closing speed. I wonder if Ben's saving fuel. I'm wondering if Ben is saving fuel, because does he know that he can go the rest of the way? I'm not too sure. Here we go, onto the Kemmel Street. And they're catching up on Rob Schauler, who's still third in the GR3 class. This is going to be tight. Oh, Ben's going to get held up massively from Schauler, but again, Schauler's entitled to do that. Ben goes through, and then Callum gets held up. Callum didn't lose too much time, no. Stuck on the back of Rob's Chevy Corvette. Right, here we go. Here we go, Ben. 11 laps to go. Effectively, you could say it's Ben versus Callum for the win. Lewis is still there within touching distance, 4.5 seconds back. But Lewis has been a little bit aggro in some laps of this. Whereas Callum and Ben have gotten into that rhythm. They've gone into that zone. Oh, a little wide through Stavilo 1 was Ben. Callum didn't really take any opportunistic of it, but he will get the run here into Carpopol Freire, and now into Blanchimont, and Ben's going to start defensive. Here we go, battle for the lead now. Oh, there might have been a little touch. Now into Blanchimont. Will Callum make the pass going into the bus stop? He's thinking about it. Here he goes, has a look, tries to make a move, tries to feint Ben out and make it a pass, but not going to happen. Now the catch into the back of Piper's Ferrari just ahead there. Second place in the Group 3 cars. Anyway, 10 laps to go now. And the lead is now less than a quarter of a second. Here he goes, and look at that. Look at the straight line speed. There, Ben had, Callum had, and oh, Ben's going to be hugely affected by that. And through into the lead goes Callum Cripps, and Ben has lost a ton of ground. Look at that, over 1 second now. Now Ben's got it all to do now. I really don't know what Ben was doing there. Oh, and off go down then. Did he get a bit of help? Did Adam Piper? Let's have a look at that. Oh, and he spun it. He spun it off of Malmedy. Now, did he get help? He did. He did get help. So Piper did have a bit of help from Edwards and gets it going, and then spins the car around. Either way, it makes no odds. He's still going to be in a safe second place no matter what. He's got a 40-second advantage, but that will go down quite a lot because Schauler hasn't arrived at. Oh, he will be now. Watch the gap tumble down to 28 seconds. So effectively, Piper hasn't lost too much ground on Schauler, but the gap though between himself and Jake Hill will be now 45 seconds, it seems. There's a mess going on at the bus stop chicane. I'm trying to see who that could be. Oh, we've lost John Riley. We've lost John Riley. I just didn't notice that there. We're down to 12 races now, and 5 now in the GR3 car. So John Riley has packed up for the day. So we've got 3 retirements now. John Riley's the latest one, along with Jordan Hogan and Brian Ross in the other Aston Martin. So Aston Martin's not having a good day at Spa. Both of their drivers out. Now then, let's see now. Ben, gap now up to 2 seconds. I wonder if he just cannot catch up with Callum's pace up ahead in that Ginetta livery Porsche. Let's have a look then at Liam McEwen. Gap now about 6.3 seconds. So within about 5 seconds, he's gained at least 5 seconds on Edwards. And look at the lap times though from Liam McEwen. Look at that. 58.4, 58.4, 58.8, 58.4. While Edwards is up and down. 59.3, 58.9, 59.3, 2 minute. Oh, so, you know, it just goes to show Liam's the more consistent of the drivers between himself and Lewis. Hence why the gap is coming down a lot. And again, it's just probably down to the edginess that Edwards is doing with this car. There's a look there at Matt Ellis, just going through, going down towards Blanchimont, still running in 7th place. He will have to pit this time by. It will be his last pit stop. The only guy possibly in the GR3 class to make a free stop is maybe Jay Hardy as well. I mean, there's 8 laps to go. He's got about 25% left of fuel. And he did pit, I think it was on lap 20 something. I think it was like 20... I think it was like 26 or so, I think. Yeah, it might. Yeah, it was lap 26 he pitted. And I don't think you can go 18 laps of fuel. You could definitely go 15, but never 18. So Jay might have to do another free. He'll have to do a free stop. In fact, he's coming in right now. So Jay, sorry, coming in. He won't need to put a lot of fuel in the car. He won't need to. But Matt will definitely pit in, and indeed he will. So Matthew will come in. Here's a look then of Adam Piper in that Ferrari of his, the sky-looking Ferrari. Jay Hardy just comes out ahead of Adam. See what surprises me there, that Adam was seeing a Ferrari up there, in high up in the race, because I've driven this car multiple times. I don't enjoy it. It's a very tail-happy car, as he just sort of shortcutted Radio. Very tail-happy car. Quite fast on the straightaway, don't get me wrong, but the rear is just terrible. As well as the Lamborghini as well. The Lamborghini around here will be a nightmare. But Adam Piper, still though, having a great race in 2nd place, even though he did have a bit of help with Lewis Edwards a couple of laps ago at this corner right here. 8 people that are watching. Hope you're enjoying this race here. It's kind of staled out though. Not really any close battles out on track at the moment there. The leader now is about 2.5 seconds from Callum to Ben. Then, oh wow, look at that. The gap now with Lewis to Liam is now less than 3.5 seconds. That time Edwards did a 2-minute 1.085 compared to the 2-minute the last lap, whereas Liam has just set, he's just set his best lap of a 1:57.977, and he did a 1:59.891, but it was still fast enough though than Edwards. So we could see a battle for 3rd place on our hands sometime soon. Coleman Corkery, apart from that moment that he had off of turn 11, he's had quite a good race actually, as Coleman. Of course, we'll get to see most of these drivers race on Wednesday for the Super DTM. Callum in the D2 Nissan, Ben in the Playboy Lexus, as well as Edwards when he's driving the Pennzoil Nissan, and McEwen also in the Pennzoil Nissan. Oh, that'll be quite interesting as well, considering these two are Pennzoil teammates. But obviously they're not teammates in this race, it's every man for himself. Now Edwards is catching up on Brian Rosser, which we'll also see in the Super DTM on Wednesday, the penultimate round of the championship. He gets held up a little bit. That's going to compromise Edwards a little bit. Now the gap is now less than 2 seconds. And Liam's going to get by Brian Ross a little bit easier than what Lewis did. So let's give you a rundown then. We're coming up with about what? 6 laps to go. Callum Cripps still the leader. 2.8 seconds he has over Ben Milton in his Audi. Lewis Edwards is getting caught though from Liam McEwen. It's now less than a second. So Liam is within touching distance of Edwards' Toyota. Coleman Corkery just comes across the line in 5th position. Just trying to catch up to the Corvette of Brian Ross. 6th place is Jay Hardy. And he's got a 20-second advantage over Matt Ellis, who's running last in the LMP1 class. And then Jake Hill rather comfortably out in the lead. He's 5 laps down overall, but he's got a 52-second advantage over this man, Adam Piper. Going through the Fania chicane. Robert Schauler in 3rd place in the GR3s. He's running 6 laps down, so I think Crispy may have passed him somewhere, I think. Liam Flynn, we ain't seen a lot of Liam recently. Quite a race, 8 seconds behind Rob, 31 seconds ahead of Brian, who gets must have touched the gravel, the Astro, sorry, in the middle of Pouon. And he's got blue flags waving, so I wonder if that's Crispy just ahead, and indeed it is. Crispy just behind Liam. And now we'll put him 7 laps down. And Brian Ross, 5th place and last in the Group 3 cars. He's also running 6 laps down. And Piper gets into the pit lane. So Piper will make his last pit stop. McEwen's up to 3rd. McEwen is up to 3rd position. Oh, so I wonder if Edwards must have made a mistake. He must have done. Well, McEwen now up into 3rd position. And Edwards down to 4th. And Corkery's gained a 2nd on that. Last lap there, 2:09.9044, which is roughly about the average what he's doing right now. McEwen did a 1:58.8. Now there's only 5 laps to go. I don't think he's going to catch 8 seconds to Ben in front, so I think Liam's going to have a, providing he doesn't do any mistakes, and if I don't do the commentator's curse on him, he's going to hold on to a safe 3rd position. Edwards is he's starting to lose time on McEwen, as it seems. A little bit of a mess going on here, possibly. Oh, Crispy, hold on. Oh. And the gap has gone down a hell of a lot now. Oh, and he hits the Astro at Pouon. He's got to be careful now. That's lost him some momentum, and now Ben is slightly there now. So here we go. 1.7 seconds. It was about 3 seconds before Cripps had that problem trying to get by Adam Piper in that Ferrari. And it's now less than 1.5 seconds now. I wonder if Ben can smell blood that Cripps lost a bit of momentum. And Ben's got to capitalise on this now. He has to capitalise on it. There's 5 laps to go until the end of this race. And it's slowly coming down, 1.4 seconds. Are we in for the grandstand finish here? What's the gap between Liam now to Crispy? Less than 10 seconds. And now he's catching up to Piper. And he will get by him cleanly. Oh, gives him a little touch. What was that for? What on earth was that for there, Liam? That was not gentlemanly there from Liam to do that. I know before I went in the stream, them two were in the same party, so I'm wondering if they're having a bit of banter between each other. I'm not too sure, like, but come on, keep it nice and clean, boys. Now, Lewis Edwards is starting to fall away from Liam McEwen, and Coco will probably take note of that. He will see the gap between himself to Lewis, and it is really coming down a heck of a lot now. I think he just actually lapped the car too. Yeah, that was Piper. And the gap now down to 3 seconds. That's definitely doable because there's 4 laps, and Edwards' his tyres have really fallen off the cliff. Gap still stabilising, 1.5 seconds. Blue flag's just been waved to the leader of Jake Hill as Matt Ellis just goes by and puts another lap on him. I think Jake's going to have to go for a 4-stop strategy, but either way it will still work. A minute and 18 seconds lead he has. He's pretty much got like a half lap gap from himself to Piper. Now then, this is going to get interesting here. Piper versus Schauler for second place. And I tell you what, this has been a nice drive, this, from Schauler. Even though he had made a little mistake on the exit of this corner right here early on in the race, he struggled with that Corvette, as we had seen him spin a couple of times, but he's getting close. We have ourselves a battle for second place as Ben comes in. Ben's in the pit lane. And I think that will probably hand the win over to Callum, because I don't think Callum will have to make a pit stop, you know. Yeah, putting more fuel in the car, so Liam will go up into second place, maybe. Oh, they're going to be side by side of the exit, but McEwen is going to go into second place. So Liam up into second place, and I think that's going to enable Callum with the win. But, you know, don't count your chickens. We may have a battle for second place on our hands. We may have a battle for fourth place too, if Coleman can catch up slowly to the back of Lewis Edwards' Porsche. Jay Hardy still in 6th position, and Matt Ellis still running in 7th place, albeit a long way back from Jay. Look at this though. Look at this. Ferrari versus Chevrolet going in towards Radion. And Rob having a look onto the inside. There's a little bit of contact through Kemmel. Now onto the Kemmel straightaway, and Schauler up to second place. Good drive this from Schauler. Oh, am I compromising the line he took going into the lead com? There was a bit of a touch. Struggling to get the power on. Blue flag being waved though to Piper, so an LMP1 car's coming. And that's Jay Hardy. JQ will make his last pit stop. And this is effectively the battle for second place, and Piper gets a good run. Oh, and then he spans Schauler off. Now where's Jay Hardy in all of this? He's still a little bit behind. Through goes Jane. He's going to get held behind Schauler, who looks like he's struggling with those soft tyres now. Adam does have fresher tyres compared to Schauler, but it looks like Schauler's tyres are starting to fall off the cliff. This is that car in high revs as well. That's not going to help the fuel a lot, isn't it? Here we go again then, through Stavolo 2, a little bump, just to make good friends. I tell you what, if them two are not careful, Liam Flynn is also there too, 8.5 seconds back he is. As Schauler gets it all wrong for the exit of Blanchimont. And Adam late on the brakes, then going into the chicane. But Schauler just able to hold on to second place overall. Gets it sideways though in the middle of the bus stop chicane. In fact, Liam Flynn has gone into the pits now in 4th place, so he's not going to catch up. Jay Hardy makes a 4th pit stop. Didn't really need to do that, as Piper has just gone by the side by side. This is going to be brave here. Side by side down towards Eau Rouge to Radion. No one's going to give an inch of the contact, and Piper runs wide. And they're still, oh, I thought they were going to come out still side by side, but no, Schauler holds on to that second place. But this battle was not over just yet though. Effectively, it's only the battle that I can see on the track map at the moment, it would seem. And again, Shaula breaks a little bit early than Piper into Lake Combe and then into Malmedy. And Shaula still holds on to second place overall, but don't want to do too much of the AstroTurf. You're going to lose a bit of time on that. And Adam is still trying to find a way by. Oh, God, Lewis Sivey said Adam off of Mirage. So he's lost a little bit of time on that, but he will gain a bit back though. Now into Pouon. Last lap then for Callum Cripps over a 10-second lead he's got over Liam, but this is going to be the only close battle it seems now here for second place. Who wants that second spot on that podium? Is it going to be Liam or is it going to be Ben? As I just see there, Corkery has just gone by Lewis Edwards, just going in towards Eau Rouge. Let's have a look at that pass being made. So Corkery just try and sets his sights up here, gets the power on a lot earlier, a lot better than it looked like from Edwards. Or what was Edwards doing? Edwards didn't get on the power as much, it would seem. And it just looked like a blatant just, I'll let you by. Yeah, and he's starting to fall away from that there as well. But anyway, it's all rosy then for Callum. He is going to win this endurance race. Well, the 90-minute endurance race. We're on the final lap of this. And it's been quite a dominant drive. Started second in the race, got the lead away from Edwards, going into Radion on the first lap. Then had that little problem in the pit lane, that second stop, his last pit stop, which I thought was he pitted one lap too late, but it made no difference whatsoever. I want to see this battle though for second place, because Ben is catching though. Ben is slowly catching. But anyways, we're going to see Callum Cripps as Ben was trying to make a move around the outside of Blanchemont. That's going to be a brave move if he can make it stick. Oh, they're side by side. That's close racing there. I think he might have second place, but Callum across the line. He will win the race. Who's going to take second place? Ben takes it. What a pass. Oh, does he? Here comes Liam to the outside. It's going to be a photo finish for second. Ben leads on Liam, and Ben's just going to hold on to second place. What a pass that was, actually. Superb pass. It's going to be close as well for fourth place. And Corkery just gets to the head of Lewis Edwards there. My, oh my, that was a good fun battle there towards the end. Jake Hill, he will come across the line, absolute dominating performance. He will win the Group 3 battle. And it's all going on now, still for second place overall in the Group 3 class. Is it going to be Shaula? Is it going to be Adam Piper? We will find out here, but here comes Jay Hardy. He will come across the line to finish sixth place. Nice effort that from Jay Hardy in the lovely looking United Autosports Porsche. He will come across the line. Sixth place there for him. Anyone else came across the line? No, not just yet. But anyways, here we go. Battle for second place. Where's Matt Ellis? There he comes. He's coming by the chicane now, and he will finish in seventh place in that rather colourful Rebellion there. Toyota, here he comes, slides his way through. He will finish in seventh place, but now it's this one. Is it going to be Shaula or Piper? Who's going to get second place and who's going to be put into third position? Piper's going to have a look around the outside, is he? No, Shaula's going to hold on to it just about as they're going into the chicane, and Piper tries to go braking extremely late, holds it off though. There's a little bit of a touch maybe. This is going to be a photo finish as well. They're still leaning on each other, but Shaula's going to hold on to second place. Adam Piper will hold on to third. Unfortunately there for him. Liam Flynn just had a moment there through Carbo Paul Freire. He will finish in fourth place. He's got 6 seconds ahead of Brian Ross in his Corvette. Here we go. And here he comes then. Liam Flynn in the Porsche. 11th overall. A massive 14 minutes behind. Only 6 laps down. I thought it would be more than that. Anyways, here comes Liam Flynn across the line to finish in fourth. And here comes Brian Ross. Liam Flynn just goes across sideways, flashes the lights, and Brian Ross comes across in 12th and 5th overall. So congratulations then to Callum Cripps on a win. That will set him good confidence for Wednesday's race at Suzuka. A rather dominant drive that was from Callum Cripps as well. And Ben, what a pass that was from Ben. Around the outside of Liam McEwen for second place on the last lap. That was a superb pass, that, absolutely. So congratulations then to Callum on the win. And Ben finishing second and Liam in third. And that is it. That is pretty much it for this. Jake has left the room there. Well done to Jake. Good luck as well to Jake in the touring car. Hope he, I've said that many times. I hope he gets it. I hope he does. But anyways, I've been Sean, and thank you to the people that were watching and the people that were commenting. Thank you as well to the racers that participated in this. And the next live stream will be on Tuesday, I think. Oh, maybe the GR3 cars are done. I'm not too sure on that, but I definitely know that we will be having some live racing on Wednesday for the Super DTM, the penultimate round at Suzuka, and then on Friday it will be the first round of the BTCC season using the 98 cars. It's going to be the first of 8 rounds, so I thoroughly cannot wait for that. And also as well on Sunday we've got the live supercars, the second race on that. So I hope, Ash, if you're still watching, I've remembered it this time. So anyways, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in a couple of days' time at Suzuka.